Hello, so this piece I'm going to play to you now is the third of the A pieces from grade 1 of ABRSM 2017-18. This is La Donna è mobile, which means the woman is fickle by Verdi. Now if you haven't already, check out Pavarotti's recording of this on YouTube. I'm going to leave a link to the video in the description because it really shows you the character and how to play this piece. The fingerings in this piece are really good, so there's not that much I can add to it. I've got a few suggestions in places of other ways that you could play certain passages. So difficulty rating for this piece is, I'd say, 7 out of 10. Now 7's a little bit higher than those of you who've played it might think. It's only because if you've been doing tunes for 10 fingers and other kind of beginner books recently, you might not be used to playing quite so high up the piano as this piece starts you out as. But if you can get over the fact that your right hand's a little bit higher, it's really not that hard a piece to play. So 7 out of 10. Anyway, enough of me talking on, let's give the piece a go. Try not to play too much slower than this. So this piece has 8 bars of repeats, and should you do them basically. The syllabus says that you shouldn't unless they are da capo or del segno repeats, which they aren't in this case. But it does say that if the repeat is very short, as it is in this case, it's only 8 bars long, you can decide to do it. So here's what I recommend. If you are playing this piece fantastically well, it's very well prepared, and your teacher is extremely happy with the way that you're playing it, I think you should go ahead and play those 8 bars again, because it just sounds a lot more compact if you play it twice, rather than rushing through the rest of the piece. If you're not so secure on this piece at the time of the exam, it's probably best just to go straight through so that you don't have any distractions in your head as you're playing. At the beginning, if you can keep the staccatos really short, it just makes the piece sound a whole lot better. You might even like to double dot the dotted quaver in the second bar each time it comes back. So with just a normal dot, it will sound like this. And with a double dot, it will sound like this. In bar 6, we have 2 repeated notes. Now, the way you would expect this to be fingered is like this. This is what's written, 3, and then nothing, so we can assume that the next note will be B and played twice. If you have trouble playing that B twice in a row with the same finger, you might want to do a more advanced fingering and replace the second B with your thumb, and you end up with this. So here's the written fingering. And here's with a replacement thumb. It just makes it a little bit cleaner and easier to play. So after the repeat, we have this fingering here, which is in the book. Move one to the right. Move one to the right. Over the top. Now you can, as an option, you can take out all of those movements and do the whole thing in one position if you want to. The only problem with this new fingering I'm going to show you is that you have to do a lot of notes in the weaker part of your hand using these fingers here. So to do this, you're going to start with your thumb on D, and that's the position you're going to stick to for the majority of this passage. So here we go. so first thing, bar 15, you will notice that there is a strange number of quavers in that beat. So, first thing to make you aware of is this is called a triplet, which means that you play those 3 quavers in the time that 2 quavers would have been played. So instead of going, we're going to have in the time of one whole beat. So that bar will sound like this. And the way you can tell that it's a triplet is because if you look very closely, if we zoom all the way in, you'll see that there's a 3 there, number 3, and it is in italics. That is how you can tell that it is not a fingering, it is actually a triplet sign. Now this is the other oddity that is written in here. We see we've got a G, dotted quaver, to a semiquaver G, and one is written in the left hand part, the other is written in the right hand part. Be aware there's also a treble clef down there, so that G with the left hand is going to be above middle C. So let's find our middle C. You look for the writing, Mr. Roger. Middle C is going to be there, and then I'm going to find our G, and that's the first one. Then you get your other hand and you find the G above. And that's how to do it. Returning back to bar 16, if you are able to stretch an octave, which is a G to a G, like that, you can just play this passage with the right hand only, which enables your left hand to just stay where it is after the A tempo to be ready for what it has to do next. So I hope you enjoyed this video. As promised, I'll put that link to Pavarotti in the description. If you've got any comments or questions or tips for other people how to play this piece even better, feel free to put them in the comments below, and maybe you can help someone else with their piano playing. Thanks a lot, bye!